Most people believe that change requires a lifetime. Napoleon Hill knew better. He understood that one focused season of discipline, applied with intention and clarity, can alter the direction of an entire life. Not decades, not endless struggle. One season where you stop drifting and begin commanding yourself. This is not motivational theory. This is provable law. Hill spent 2 decades studying the wealthiest and most successful people of his era. And he discovered something that contradicts everything society teaches about transformation. Massive change does not require massive time. It requires massive focus during a defined period. One season, 90 days. 12 weeks of absolute self-command. That is all it takes to separate yourself from years of mediocrity and install a new identity that transforms everything. This is the truth few are willing to face. Your life does not stay the same because change is hard. It stays the same because discipline is avoided. And without discipline, there is no power. Today, you will understand why a single season of disciplined thought and action can do more for you than years of unfocused effort. If you are serious about mastering your mind and your future, subscribe to this channel now. This is where we decode the success principles inspired by Napoleon Hill, principles that built fortunes and transformed destinies. Because what you are about to learn is not taught in schools. It is not discussed by those who benefit from your distraction. And it is certainly not shared by people who want you to believe that transformation is impossible without their system, their course, their permission. The truth is simpler and more powerful. You are one season away from a completely different life. Most men live in cycles, not seasons. They repeat the same habits, the same excuses, the same reactions year after year. Napoleon Hill called this drifting. Drifting is not laziness. It is the absence of self-command. A drifting man may appear busy, but he is never progressing with intention. He works, he reacts, he hopes. But hope without discipline produces nothing. Here is the lie you were told. Change takes time. Be patient. Small steps, slow progress. This advice keeps you passive, it keeps you comfortable, and it keeps you drifting. Hill taught the opposite. He taught that concentrated effort during a defined period creates more transformation than scattered effort over years. Think about this carefully. A man can spend 5 years working on himself without structure, without intensity, without real discipline, and at the end of those 5 years, he is fundamentally the same person, slightly older, slightly more discouraged, but unchanged. Or that same man can commit to 90 days of absolute discipline. 90 days where every thought is commanded, every habit is intentional, every action serves a definite aim. At the end of those 90 days, he is unrecognizable, not because he worked harder, but because he worked with focus. This is the difference between cycles and seasons. Cycles repeat. They feel productive, but produce no lasting change. You start strong, you drift. You restart, you drift again. The pattern continues indefinitely. Seasons transform. A season has a beginning, a middle, and an end. It has structure. It has intensity. And when a season is completed with discipline, it leaves you fundamentally changed. Napoleon Hill understood this because he witnessed it repeatedly. Every man he studied had at least one defining season. One period where they stopped drifting and began commanding. And that season set the trajectory for everything that followed. The question is not whether you are capable of discipline. The question is whether you will commit to one season. Let us be specific. A season is not vague. It is not, I'll try to be better. A season is 90 days, 12 weeks, 3 months of absolute, non-negotiable self-command. Why 90 days? Napoleon Hill observed that habits form through repetition under pressure. Too short, and the habit does not solidify. Too long, and motivation collapses under the weight of indefinite commitment. 90 days is the perfect duration. Long enough to install new patterns, short enough to maintain intensity. Science confirms this. Research shows that behavioral change requires approximately 66 days of consistent repetition. But Napoleon Hill went further. He taught that true transformation requires not just behavior change, but identity change. And identity changes when you prove something to yourself repeatedly over time. 90 days gives you enough proof. During this season, you are not trying to become disciplined. You are living as a disciplined person. There is a profound difference. Trying is tentative. Living is committed. The drifting man tries discipline occasionally. The commanding man lives it for a defined season. Here is what your season will demand. You will wake at the same time every day. Not most days, every day, including weekends. This is non-negotiable. Your body and mind require rhythm to function optimally. You will control the first thought of the day. Before the world reaches you, you will install your definite purpose into your conscious mind through deliberate autosuggestion. You will eliminate distractions completely. No negotiation, no exceptions. Social media, news, meaningless, entertainment, gone. If it does not serve your definite aim, it does not exist during your season. You will move your body daily, not for appearance, but for mental clarity. Hill understood that the mind and body are connected. Physical discipline strengthens mental discipline. You will feed your mind deliberately. Books, principles, ideas that align with your aim. Garbage in, garbage out. Excellence in, excellence out. You will track your progress. Every day, you will write what you accomplished, what you learned, and what you will improve tomorrow. What gets measured, gets managed. You will act with initiative. You will not wait for perfect conditions. You will move, adjust, and move again. This is your season. 90 days, where you prove to yourself that you are capable of command. If this level of commitment resonates with you, subscribe now. We explore these principles deeply, week after week. Inertia is the silent killer of potential. Napoleon Hill observed that most men fail not because they lack ability, but because they cannot overcome the momentum of their current state. The first law of a disciplined season is this: a season breaks inertia. Inertia works both ways. Negative momentum keeps you stuck. Positive momentum propels you forward. Most people live in negative momentum without realizing it. They wake up tired because they went to bed late. They went to bed late because they were distracted. They were distracted because they lacked purpose. They lacked purpose because they drifted. This cycle feeds itself, and without a concentrated interruption, it continues indefinitely. A disciplined season is that interruption. During the first week of your season, you will feel resistance. Your body will protest waking early. Your mind will crave distraction. Your emotions will demand comfort. This is inertia defending itself. But here is what Hill understood. Inertia only has power until consistency is established. Once you repeat disciplined action for 7 consecutive days, resistance weakens. By day 14, the new pattern begins to feel normal. By day 30, it feels automatic. This is not willpower. This is momentum shift. Andrew Carnegie experienced this firsthand. Early in his career, Carnegie was drifting. He worked hard, but without focus. His efforts scattered across too many interests. Then he made a decision. He committed to 1 season of absolute focus. 90 days where he would concentrate all his energy on mastering steel production and building strategic relationships. During that season, Carnegie eliminated every distraction. He stopped attending social events that did not serve his aim. He stopped reading material that did not educate him. He stopped engaging in conversations that weakened his focus. At the end of 90 days, Carnegie was not the same man. His clarity was sharper. His decisions were faster. His results were undeniable. That single season created the momentum that built an empire. Hill wrote about this extensively. He called it organized effort, not more effort. Organized effort. A disciplined season organizes your effort. It removes chaos. It installs structure. And structure creates momentum. The tragedy is that most men never experience this because they refuse to commit to 1 season. They keep hoping that scattered effort will somehow produce focused results. It will not. Inertia is broken through concentrated force. 1 season of discipline is that force. If this is opening your eyes to what is possible, leave a like on this video. It helps this message reach others who are ready. Most people wait for circumstances to change before they change their behavior. Napoleon Hill taught the opposite. Change your identity, and circumstances will follow. The second law of a disciplined season is this: identity changes before circumstances. This is crucial to understand. You do not become disciplined by achieving results. You achieve results by becoming disciplined. Identity is not what you hope to be. Identity is what you prove to yourself through action. During your season, every disciplined choice is evidence. Evidence that you are not the person you were. Evidence that you are capable of command. Evidence that you can be trusted to follow through. The subconscious mind tracks this evidence. And when enough evidence accumulates, identity shifts. You stop saying, "I'm trying to be disciplined," and start saying, "I am a disciplined person." This shift is everything. Because once identity changes, behavior becomes effortless. You no longer force yourself to wake early. You wake early because that is what disciplined people do. And you are a disciplined person. Napoleon Hill studied Henry Ford extensively. Ford was not born disciplined. In fact, his early attempts at business failed repeatedly. He drifted. He lacked focus. He chased too many ideas at once. But then Ford committed to a season. A defined period where he would master one thing: the automobile. For 90 days, Ford immersed himself completely. He studied every aspect of vehicle design. He eliminated every distraction. He refused meetings that did not serve his aim. He worked with singular focus. During this season, something shifted inside Ford. He stopped seeing himself as a man with ideas. He started seeing himself as a man who executes ideas. That identity shift preceded every success that followed. By the end of the season, Ford had not yet built his empire. But he had built something more important: the identity of a man who could amend. And once that identity was established, the empire became inevitable. This is what a disciplined season does. It does not necessarily change your bank account in 90 days, but it changes who you are. And who you are determines what you build. The circumstances will follow, but identity must come first. Hill called this faith consciousness, the inner knowing that you are capable. This consciousness is not developed through affirmations alone. It is developed through proof, and a disciplined season provides that proof daily. Take a moment now and comment where you are watching this video from. I want to see how far this message is reaching, because this principle applies everywhere, to everyone. Confusion is expensive. Napoleon Hill observed that most men waste years in confusion, not because they lack information, but because they lack clarity. The third law of a disciplined season is this: discipline creates clarity, and clarity generates power. Clarity is not something you think your way into. Clarity is something you act your way into. When you commit to a disciplined season, you remove noise. And when noise is removed, what remains is truth. Truth about what you actually want. Truth about what is holding you back. Truth about which relationships strengthen you and which drain you. Truth about which habits serve your aim and which sabotage it. Most people avoid discipline because they are afraid of this truth. They prefer comfortable confusion to uncomfortable clarity. But Hill taught that a man without clarity is a man without power. He may have talent, he may have opportunity, but without clarity, both are wasted. Discipline forces clarity, because discipline demands decision. During your season, you cannot afford to be vague. You must decide what your definite aim is. You must decide which actions serve that aim. You must decide what you will eliminate. Decision by decision, clarity compounds. John D. Rockefeller understood this deeply. Early in his career, Rockefeller worked long hours, but without real direction. He was capable, but scattered. His energy was divided across too many ventures. Then Rockefeller committed to a season of radical focus. 90 days where he would clarify his definite aim and align every action with it. During this season, Rockefeller asked himself one question repeatedly: does this move me toward my aim or away from it? Every meeting, every investment, every relationship, every habit. If it moved him toward his aim, he doubled down. If it moved him away, he eliminated it without hesitation. By the end of 90 days, Rockefeller's life looked completely different. Not because his circumstances had changed dramatically, but because his clarity had. He knew exactly what he was building. He knew exactly what it would require. And he knew exactly who he needed to become. That clarity generated power. Power to make decisions quickly, power to move with confidence, power to execute without hesitation. Within a few years, Rockefeller dominated the oil industry. Not because he worked harder than his competitors, but because he moved with clarity while they moved in confusion. Hill wrote that clarity is the prerequisite for all achievement. A confused mind attracts confused results. A clear mind attracts clear results. This is law. A disciplined season creates clarity through elimination. It removes everything that does not serve your aim. And what remains is undeniable truth. Most men spend their entire lives avoiding this clarity because they know it will demand change. But the cost of confusion is far higher than the cost of clarity. Confusion keeps you stuck. Clarity sets you free. If this teaching is helping you see what needs to change, subscribe to this channel. These principles are designed to be lived, not just heard. The greatest gift of a disciplined season is not what you achieve, it is what you prove to yourself. The fourth law of a disciplined season is this: one season proves capacity permanently. Most men do not fail because they lack ability. They fail because they doubt their ability, and doubt paralyzes action. But when you complete a disciplined season, doubt dissolves, because you have proof. Undeniable, lived proof that you are capable of self-command. This proof changes everything. Before your season, you may hope you are disciplined. After your season, you know you are disciplined, and knowing is power that hoping can never provide. Napoleon Hill called this definiteness of belief. Not vague hope, but concrete belief backed by evidence. During your 90 days, you will face resistance. You will face doubt. You will face moments where quitting feels easier than continuing. But if you persist, if you complete the season with integrity, something shifts permanently inside you. You become the kind of person who finishes what they start. The kind of person who keeps commitments to themselves. The kind of person who can be trusted. And once you know this about yourself, you can never fully return to weakness. Thomas Edison experienced this during his most difficult season. Edison had failed thousands of times attempting to create a functional light bulb. The world mocked him. Investors doubted him. Even colleagues questioned whether he should continue. But Edison committed to one more season. 90 days of disciplined experimentation. 90 days where he would refuse to quit, refuse to drift, refuse to doubt. He did not know if he would succeed during that season, but he knew he would prove his capacity to persist. And that is exactly what happened. By the end of those 90 days, Edison had not yet perfected the light bulb. But he had perfected something more valuable, the absolute certainty that he could persist through any obstacle. That certainty carried him through thousands more experiments until success finally arrived. Hill studied Edison extensively and concluded that Edison's greatest invention was not the light bulb. It was the identity of a man who could not be stopped. That identity was forged during seasons of absolute discipline. This is what your season will do for you. It will prove that you can command yourself, and once proven, that capacity becomes permanent. You may drift again in the future. You may lose focus temporarily. But you will never forget what you are capable of. And that memory will call you back to discipline faster each time. One season proves capacity permanently, and capacity, once proven, can never be taken away. Let us speak plainly about the historical evidence. Every man Napoleon Hill studied had at least one defining season. One period where everything changed because discipline was applied with absolute focus. Andrew Carnegie had his season in his early 30s. 90 days where he committed to mastering steel and building the relationships that would shape his empire. That season created momentum that lasted decades. Henry Ford had his season before launching the Model T, 90 days of focused design, testing, and refinement. That season gave birth to a revolution in manufacturing. John D. Rockefeller had his season during the early days of Standard Oil. 90 days, where he clarified his vision and eliminated everything that did not serve it. That season established the foundation for unimaginable wealth. Thomas Edison had multiple seasons throughout his career. Each one focused on a single problem with relentless discipline. Those seasons produced inventions that changed the world. These were not accidents. These were not lucky breaks. These were deliberate seasons of concentrated effort. And here is what most people miss. These men did not wait for perfect conditions to begin their seasons. They began in uncertainty. They began with limited resources. They began when doubt was still present. But they began anyway. Because they understood that waiting for certainty is another form of drifting. Napoleon Hill interviewed each of these men and asked about their success. And consistently, they pointed to specific periods of intense focus. Seasons where they decided to stop hoping and start commanding. Hill wrote, "The man who waits for perfect conditions will never accomplish anything. The man who creates perfect discipline creates perfect conditions." This is the pattern. Discipline first, results second. If this historical evidence is inspiring you, leave a like on this video. Let the algorithm know this message matters. Enough philosophy. Let us speak about execution. Your season begins with clarity. You must define your definite chief aim, not vague goals. One clear specific aim that organizes all thought and action. Write this aim down. Read it aloud every morning and every night. Hill called this autosuggestion, and it is the foundation of all transformation. Week 1 to 2. Installation. The first 2 weeks are about installing rhythm. This is when resistance is highest. Your body wants old patterns. Your mind craves distraction. Ignore both. Wake at the same time daily. Control your first thought through deliberate affirmation. Eliminate all distraction. Track your actions in writing. Do not focus on results yet. Focus only on consistency. Proof of discipline, not proof of achievement. Week 3 to 4. Stabilization. By week 3, the pattern begins to feel normal. Resistance weakens. Your subconscious starts to accept the new rhythm. This is when you add intensity. Not by working more hours, but by working with more focus during the hours you have. Eliminate anything that still drains energy without serving your aim. Relationships, habits, commitments. Be ruthless. Week 5 to 8. Momentum. This is the breakthrough phase. The phase where most people quit just before momentum arrives. Do not quit. By week 5, if you have maintained consistency, you will feel different. Decisions come faster. Confidence strengthens. Opportunities appear. This is not coincidence. This is your mind responding to order. Double down during this phase. Maintain intensity. Protect your season from interruption. Week 9 to 12. Consolidation. The final 4 weeks are about consolidation. This is where identity fully shifts. You are no longer trying to be disciplined. You are living as a disciplined person. The behaviors that once required effort now feel automatic. This is the goal. Automation through repetition. By the end of week 12, you will look back and barely recognize the person you were 90 days prior. That is transformation. Daily non-negotiables. Same wake time, every day morning affirmation of definite aim. 1 hour of focused work on your aim before reacting to the world physical movement. For mental clarity, evening review. What did I accomplish? What did I learn? What will I improve tomorrow? No exceptions, no negotiations. 90 days. This is your protocol. Simple, but not easy. If you are ready to commit to this, subscribe now. We will support you through this journey. Most people fail not because the method does not work, but because they make predictable mistakes. Here are the 7 fatal errors and how to avoid them. Error 1. Not defining the season. Vague commitment produces vague results. I'll try to be more disciplined is not a season. 90 days. Specific start date. Specific end date. Written down. Non-negotiable. Error 2. Attempting perfection, you will have imperfect days. You will miss a morning. You will slip once. Perfection is not the goal. Persistence is the goal. When you fail, recommit immediately. Do not let one mistake become an excuse to quit. Error 3. Lacking accountability, discipline. Practiced alone is vulnerable. Find one person who knows your aim and will check your progress weekly. Not to judge, but to witness. Error 4. Ignoring celebration. Most people focus only on what they did wrong. Discipline requires celebrating what you did right. Each week, acknowledge your progress. This reinforces the new identity. Error 5. Tolerating distraction. One distraction seems harmless, but distraction is cumulative. During your season, eliminate everything that does not serve your aim. Everything. Error 6. Waiting for motivation. Motivation is unreliable. Discipline does not wait for motivation. Discipline acts regardless of how you feel. That is the difference. Error 7. Quitting before day 30. Most people quit between day 14 and day 28. This is when discomfort peaks, but momentum has not yet arrived. If you quit here, you will never know what was possible. Push through day 30, and everything changes. Avoid these errors, and your season will succeed. Let us be specific about what you will experience. Week 1. Discomfort. Your body protests. Your mind craves old patterns. This is normal. Do not interpret discomfort as failure. Week 2. Doubt. You question whether this is working. You see no dramatic results yet. This is expected. Trust the process. Week 3. Glimpses. Small moments where the new pattern feels natural. Your confidence begins to grow. Week 4. Stabilization. The pattern feels less forced. You begin to see the first external results. Week 5 to 6. Breakthrough. Momentum arrives. Decisions feel easier. You move with more confidence. Week 7 to 8. Acceleration. Results compound. You feel fundamentally different. Week 9 to 10. Consolidation. The new identity solidifies. Old patterns feel foreign. Week 11 to 12. Integration. You are no longer practicing discipline. You are living as a disciplined person. This is the progression. Predictable, reliable. Proven. Comment below where you are watching from. Let others know this message is reaching you. The season ends on day 90, but the transformation does not. Here is what happens next. The behaviors installed during your season do not require the same intensity to maintain. What once took effort now takes minimal energy. You have options. Option 1. Maintain. Continue the core disciplines at a sustainable level while enjoying the results. Option 2. New season. Commit to another 90 days with a new aim or deeper intensity. Most successful people alternate between seasons and maintenance. They use seasons to install new levels of discipline, then maintain until the next season is needed. Napoleon Hill lived this way. Multiple seasons throughout his life, each one focused on mastering a new principle or completing a major work. The key is this: once you complete one season, you know you can do it again. That knowledge is permanent power. One season of discipline can change your entire life. This is not theory. This is law. 90 days. 12 weeks. One focused period where you stop drifting and begin commanding. You now understand the 4 laws. The first law: a season breaks inertia. The second law: identity changes before circumstances. The third law: discipline creates clarity. Clarity generates power. The fourth law: one season proves capacity permanently. These are not suggestions. These are principles that have built fortunes and transformed lives. The only question that remains is this: will you commit? Affirm this, now. Speak it aloud if you can. Let these words impress your subconscious. I commit to 90 days of absolute discipline. I command my thoughts, my habits, and my actions. I wake with purpose and move with intention. I eliminate distraction and protect my focus. I prove my capacity through consistent action. I become the person my future requires. This season will change my life. I do not drift, I do not negotiate. I execute. My definite aim organizes my every decision. I am capable of complete self-command, and I will prove it for 90 days. If this message awakens something inside you, subscribe to this channel now. More teachings inspired by Napoleon Hill are coming. Principles that shaped empires. Principles that still work. Principles that most will never apply because they refuse to commit to one season. Like this video so others can find it. And comment below where you are watching from. I want to see how far this message of discipline and transformation is spreading. Remember this: the life you want is not years away. It is one season away. 90 days of discipline. 90 days of command. 90 days that change everything. Your season begins now, not tomorrow, not next week, now. Because every moment you delay is a moment of power surrendered. And you have surrendered enough.